So, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is coming out in just about 2 months from now. And Super Mario Galaxy, the first game, is my absolute favourite game of all time. The second game is also pretty good. I recently finished 100%ing it on the Switch re release, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to be honest. I've got really high hopes for this movie, so here is a few things I would like to see in the movie or surrounding the movie. Just a few hopes that I have. My number one hope for the movie is that Rosalina isn't sidelined and that she has a proportionate amount of the screen time to Mario and Luigi, if not more. This is the perfect opportunity to develop her character more than they even did in the games or game, and to give her more story. I personally would be interested in receiving more of her backstory, even if it doesn't necessarily tie to the game universe. I want to know more about her because she's one of my absolute favourite Mario characters, and I think she's everyone's favourite Mario character, to be honest. At least one of them. She's definitely one of the most popular since her release. And I just really hope that she gets done well in the movie. My second wish is that the soundtrack is just as good, if not better, than the original Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 soundtracks. I know in the trailer they've already shown a few songs from Super Mario World, but the soundtrack for the first movie was genuinely incredible. And the soundtrack for Mario Galaxy is one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time, and I believe I can say that without anyone disagreeing with me. I think the movie should do that soundtrack justice. I'd love to hear new arrangements of things like Cosmic Cove Galaxy, obviously Gusty Garden Galaxy, Good Egg Galaxy, Space Fantasy, and my personal favourite, Pipe Interior. It's a banger. Give it a listen. I hope the soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm kind of expecting it to be. My third wish isn't about the movie itself, but it's more surrounding it. The first movie had some really, really good merch releases and collab tie-ins with companies, and I'd just love to see that again, especially with Lush. Their Mario collection for the first movie was amazing. Imagine Mario Galaxy-themed bath bombs or cosmetic products from Lush. I love Lush. That would be awesome. I really want to see that. My next wish is that they have the Lumas, and they had Luma Lee in the first movie. I want to see both Lubba and Polari, the map Luma from the first game, because they have obviously some of the most distinct designs of the Lumas and some of the most character. I don't want it to just be the basic coloured Lumas for the whole movie. I want to see Lubba, especially, that they gave her new lore in the re-release of Mario Galaxy 2. I want to see Lubba. That's my goat right there. My next wish, I really hope the plot has a lot more depth than the first movie. I really enjoyed the first movie, but the story wasn't amazing, if we're being honest. And I really hope that the story doesn't just revolve around Mario and Luigi saving person from thing. I want to see a deeper, more interesting story that involves all the characters they've set up for this movie. And I do believe we'll get that, because the trailers haven't really shown any semblance of a basic Mario plot, like saving Peach from Bowser. They can't do that again, even though they saved Luigi in the first movie, but I really do hope that the plot is advanced. My next wish is I want the movie to make reference to Rosalina's storybook. I feel like it will, because the movie probably will have a section explaining her backstory, or at least part of it, I would imagine. And the storybook is one of the coolest pieces of art, I think, in a Mario game. And obviously they recently released it physically, so there's obviously already been a lot of attention drawn to it with the added pages in the re-releases. So I would love to see, even if it's just referenced, or they have a few pages from the actual game show up on the screen, I would love to see that. The next one is pretty simple. I just want Guillermo in the movie. Put Guillermo in the movie. I love Guillermo. He's such an asshole. He sucks, and he makes me clean up those boxes and those bombs and the trash piles, and I want to stab him to death, but also I love him and I want him in the movie, and I'll be thoroughly disappointed if he's not. This one's a bit specific. I really want the final act of the movie to take place on or around the Comet Observatory. I don't think I've seen it in any of the trailers or promotions for this movie, which makes me worry that it's not going to be in there. But honestly is one of the best set pieces and locations in any Mario game. And I think the final showdown, whoever it may be with Bowser Jr. or someone we haven't thought about yet, I'd love to see it on the Comet Observatory, or like near it, or just have it be there, because that would be awesome. Next one's again a little specific. I hope Rosalina, and they did show this kind of in the first trailer, I hope she's completely OP. I hope that she forgets opportunities to actually fight as much as Mario and Luigi did in the first movie, and Peach. And I don't want her to get nerfed. I want to see her at her full potential, because it's something we don't ever really get to see in the games. We know she's very powerful, she's like God, but we never get to see it, and I want to see it. And my final and largest wish for this movie is that it doesn't suck. In recent years and in recent memory, sequels to movies that were good haven't turned out so good, especially animated movies. Despicable Me 4, Illumination's last movie, I believe, wasn't great, and I know they can pull off good movies because the first movie was quite good. I want them to. I've already, from the trailers, I can see that they've given this movie a lot of thought and care, and I just hope that it comes out like, it doesn't have to be like the second coming of Christ, but I hope I can leave the theater and go, yeah, that was a good movie, and I'd like to see it again, and I'd like to see more from this series, because I had that feeling after the first one, and I would love to have that feeling continue. And that is it for this video. Let me know any of your hopes for the movie, and I will come back after I've seen it, after it releases on April 1st, or 2nd, depending on where you live, and I will see if my wishes were answered, and maybe then some. And I'll see you all in the next video.